Hey, welcome everyone. Quick little follow-up video. Yeah, we've got we had the breakout in the spider. This is our trading room. Just to let you know, we had some positions on from last week, and I'm pretty sure I shared with you. This is our stock room, stock and option room, let's call it. We have two live trading rooms here at Person's Planet. People log in, and if you go up here and you'll see the top here, you can click whichever room you want to go to, and you can toggle back and forth. So we have two trading rooms. So this is our stock room, and basically what we have is when we look at our newsletter, we take trades that are in the newsletter that I write every week, and we talk about them in this live trading room. More importantly, we also do something else. When we have trade opportunities like we have here, like Nordstrom, JWM. So you can see the date that this was posted, 8:30 at 10:31 in the morning. While it's light volume, there was 4,800 open interest. Now, why did we choose Nordstrom? Well, I'll get to that in a minute, but what we posted not just in the live trading room, but also sent email alert to all subscribers, because quite frankly, in my premium service, and I do a lot of YouTube videos to share with you the indicators that we're using. Number one, how to properly use those indicators and to expose you to other, or I wouldn't have to say better mousetraps or better indicators. I would have to say modernized. So a couple indicators that still work phenomenally well, Person's pivots, and I explain how to utilize that. And right now you are looking at my account at Thinkorswim. So, and this is actually projected the live trading room. Well, when we get a weekly pivot, daily pivot combination and a PPS buy signal, Seagate Technologies, for example, or what happened with Garmin, or what happened with NVIDIA, or what happened with Oxy, TBT, Nordstrom's, Activision, GE, we'll get into all those trades later, and then a ratio back spread in IWM, and then some long exposure with SPY. All of that was based off of A, either volume, B, most importantly, pivots, C, the PPS indicator, and then lastly, looking at the PMC relative strength indicator. And we were seeing money flow, relative strength was flowing into the semiconductor Seagate. And I said this last week on the YouTube video. I said, while everyone's looking at FANG stocks and everyone's looking at everything else and Apple and things like that, nobody's paying attention to the right side, what's going on, because there's a lot of other stocks that are taking off. Anyway, what we did is we had exposure to Nordstrom, a 32 strike call. No one thought at any chance in hell we were going to get 32. Well, we just booked the profit right now because we're right up against the resistance level. This was, again, a September 20th expiration. We paid a quarter, nothing, right? And so we've dumped those. Seagate, we had a bull call spread the Sep 20th, the 52.5, 55 for 55 cents. That's it. Paid 55 cents. If the market was going to explode and do what I thought it would do, which is this, explode, these were the names that would take us up, and they did. It wasn't luck. It's not skill. It's kind of a combination of both luck and skill because it's mostly timing, right? That's the problem with options, is timing your trades. So that's where I think I can help investors, and that's why we definitely put out what we do, and maybe why I'm a little more passionate, because I know I can help people, and I know I have helped people if they just let me. And here's the key. NVIDIA was another one. NVIDIA, by the way, I thought that NVIDIA would do a lot better a lot sooner. So instead of going in the Sep 20th expiration, we went with the Sep 13th, paid less money for a closer strike, 170.75. We paid $1.70. Look where NVIDIA is right now. I mean, well, you can't see it. It's not on the board. We got too many stocks. No, it's right here at 178.62. We're already deep in the money, and we dumped that trade right now. So I think that the point is, while we're not lucky, we're probably, I mean, I wouldn't say better than average, but we're much better than average. And so here's the deal. We take the good and the bad, and I just don't put out information of cherry picking just the winners, and you guys know that because we have a track record. We post that every week of all our trades, win, lose, or draw. So anyway, with Garmin, this is a line that was drawn in the sand because that was the upside profit potential, and you hit it. You opened up and you sold off, and I'm not sure how this or why this always happens, but you can clearly see the midpoint of the gap, the high of a last conditional change candle. That's the high of July 31st would act as resistance. That's the first target that we're going to see. And lo and behold, gang, that's exactly where we went into. Why would I even pick Garmin? Well, number one, strong relative strength. Look at the PMC. It's all bright blue. Number one, look at the volume trending up on OBV. So we also had a PPS buy signal. And look, these are the weekly pivots. The blue, these are weekly pivots. It says so up here. Weekly pivots. Weekly, right? So the weekly pivot was higher than the prior weeks with improved volume and relative strength. How do you not use that combination to go long and make some money? Now, is this a long-term position trade? No, it's a swing trade. So should you be out of the trade when it hits resistance? You should be taking profits. End of story. All right, so there. I just wanted to follow up with you. How did we get these trades? And again, what are we doing with these trades? Next. This is a couple of little things that I use for J Person Asset Management. We have a couple things here. The Spider trade, it's long. SPXL, 15-minute day trade kind of system. SPY, a different model. This model here has shorter profits than that model. When they both exit a trade, that's when I get bearish. Okay, so if the long is still enacted on one and the long got taken profits out on the other, I trust this for better profitability, that one right up there. This is SVXY because some of our clients can't trade sell short VXX and 401k. So anyway, with that said, this is one we utilize as well. When SVX gives a generated buy signal, that means volatility is going down and that supports the market. TNA, SDS, SPXL, different models for different things. I just wanted to explain to you what I've got going on. All right. Next, the algo room. Here's the algo room. And here's what we post on the YouTube videos. And you can always take a sea trial, so to speak. Now that we've got Hurricane Doreen well past the Florida coast, our office got put back together. Yes, I got nicked, I got bruised, I got scraped, I got cut. Not from the hurricane, from preparing moving stuff for the hurricane. Everyone kind of forgets about this. I mean, so if you have an office, by the way, and all your computers and monitors have a nice against a pretty window that faces east in the intercoastal, and you've got 72 miles off your coast a Cat 5 hurricane, you definitely want to move that stuff away from the windows because our office building did not have A, hurricane shutters, B, impact glass resistance. So all of that stuff in an office has to get down, move your servers, move the company to safety kind of thing. And then you got to do the same crap at home. You got to move all that heavy patio furniture and get the hurricane shutters and the accordions and then try to get help. No way, because all the people that you would pay to help, they're busy getting and taking care of their own families and their homes too. So that's, it's like every man for himself. People don't realize that. So it's a lot easier to break things down than it is to put them back together where the wires go. So anyway, when you're in a hurry and you're moving stuff, you pick up things wrong and there's a sharp little cut. Anyway, enough sympathy for me. The point is, I'm beat, I'm tired, but I'm excited because we were still able to use this analysis and our indicators under duress of such a insane weather situation. And we really do want to let you know that the Bahamians got absolutely crushed. Islands that I fish in, from Spanish K to Green Turtle K to Grand K for one, which is next to Walker K. There's a nice little place there. The guy that kind of runs the island, his name's Rosie. It's a big marina. Some of you guys may know, or if you're in Florida, you get Big Daddy's liquor stores, which was also they kind of retired, I guess. Anyway, there's like 4 or 5 brothers, and they just live over there, man. And they bought a barge, built a home on it, and they helped kind of sponsor the island by bringing stuff over. Rosie's just decimated, man. It's really sad. And so there, you get to know some of these people, and when you go over there and do some fishing, so it's sad to see that. And by the way, Justin Rose, he's not the number 1 golfer in the world this year, but he actually resides in Nassau. Nassau didn't get as much damage at all, but they did get some outages there. But anyway, I didn't mean to dwell on the Bahamians, but it is something pretty crazy. All right, what about our algo program here? The Algo 17 is a a product that both retail traders and institution traders have and can buy and or now lease, which is something that only is available through the TradeStation Securities website. Currently, the model that we have in our live trading room is, as you can see, short the VXX. And there's this strategy, and this is when it went. And not only can you see the short on the chart, but it shows up here. And I did show this with you in yesterday's video. SPXL, we took some heat on that one. This is a daily model on SPXL, and that's right here. It is currently long. The 60-minute SPY, because of all my writings, right here, long the 60-minute SPY, and that's from the position over here. What's going on currently? Well, you can see that here's the long entry right there, and there's the emergency hard stop. And we need time to get by to see if this thing is going to trend up and keep going. I would like to see that, obviously, being long the market. What's missing from this market? Well, what's missing is volume. And again, I'm not a big fan of my volume indicator showing some divergence. That's not really great, to be truthful. So what I see is a big sideways trading range. Okay. Now, my thought is simply this. As long as we do not close less than 296.64, if we maintain structurally sound first hour range, that means the low of the day is in. And that's something, another statistics that I did some back test on about 20 years ago. What is the amount of time that the high-low is posted after the first hour is made? So that's another thing which, by the way, we will cover in our live 3-day seminar down here in October. And if you want, go visit personsplanet.com website, number one. You can find out about seminars and things that we do, free videos about how to use these indicators on Thinkorswim, for example, more information on how to get your hands on the Algo 17 program, and again, information regarding our seminars. More importantly, if you have liked or enjoyed these follow-up tidbits that I've been putting out on YouTube on these broadcasts, you can always give me a thumbs up. And if you don't like what you see, then tell me why. And then you can always email me. It makes sense. It's like a lot of people, I don't know if they get in a bad mood, or they don't like the color, or they don't like me talking, or they don't like my political affiliations. Okay, great. You don't like my deodorant? Okay, great. But market analysis, you got to tell me why you don't like that. Because you couldn't see the video? Well, they're free. So, but then tell me what you don't like about it. Doesn't make sense. And you know what? If you don't like it, why the hell did you watch it? I don't get it. Anyway, it is what it is. I could tell you this. Psychologically, the market, according to the CFTC Commitment of Traders data, people are short this market, gang. And that's another report you can find on our website. So if this market gaps above resistance, and if we finally get maybe an uptick in the afternoon or some volume with the insane strength in the advanced decline, this market isn't just going to stop at the old highs up in here, 299-ish. I think we go up to newer highs by the end of September. Let me share with you what the heck I'm talking about in that advanced decline analysis. We made in the S&Ps, we are breaking out, right? We broke out. We hit my first target, which is this yellow line in the sand. There's my first target. Next, if it closes greater than, and if we close greater than the open print in the spiders, that, my friends, is very positive, which means we didn't fill the gap, and that means it's a gap go situation. With the advanced decline as strong as it is, by the way, that's not just strong, that's a new all-time ever high in the advanced decline, cumulative ratio line, highest ever. That is never, ever have I ever seen a market sell off on a new high like that. So typically it will go up and test the high. It's a leading indicator. And it's not just in the S&Ps. If we close today at a better in price than the open print without filling the gap and the advanced decline in the Qs, it forms a new high breakout. All right, so that's next. What about the Dow? And I keep telling you, every stock in the Dow, high dividend yielding, blue, mega cap stocks, blah, 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 every single stock in the Dow is in the S&P 500. And again, look at the Dow. Whoa, big old gap. And I'd like to say something that was from a sign in New Orleans, a guy selling beer. It said, well, I will tell you, the guy walking around the street. I mean, think about it. What's the greatest marketing um, ploy you can? Give something new now and free, right? Or big, right? So the guy's holding this huge sign. It says big ass beers with an arrow pointing to this bar, right? And it's like, man, if you're a kid and you want a beer, I don't want a little tiny beer. I want a big ass beer, right? So it was pretty smart marketing. It was very simple, right? Anyway, um, big ol' upside. And here's what I do see. Slowly but surely, the volume trend is turning. So I think from commitment of traders showing people are short the market, nobody believes this, a U-shaped bottom, we should see acceleration, not just to test the highs, but if that advanced decline remains high and remains at new highs, it would signal a new high breakout coming for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. All right, so that's that. All right. What about the one that most wizards and warlocks all pay attention to because they don't know any different or don't have the availability to break down advanced decline work like we've done here with the other indices? So let's take a look. I'm trying to expand the window here. And on the NYSE, OMG, we broke out to a newer high. Listen, gang, the McClellan oscillator is not overbought. Number one, it's very positive. So on the daily reading and the weekly reading, there's a lot more room to the upside. So it's not overbought. Number two, on the NYSE, which is also the ARMS index, or the people get data from the tick, that's all data derived from the NYSE. So we're looking at a cumulative advanced decline on the NYSE. The difference between this index, the Qs, the spiders, and the diamonds is about 67% of the stocks contained in the NYSE. Number one, there's around 1,895 stocks, something like that. 67% are weighted towards interest rates. So it's REITs, they're interest rate sensitive, bond funds, muni funds, stuff like that. 1/5 of the amount of stocks in that index are foreign corporations. So it's not one of the indexes that I trust and say is a reliability as far as I want to look at its breadth analysis based on those premises. And I don't trade the NYSE, and neither do you, because it's an index. Now, the fact is that the stocks in this are breaking out to newer highs does not tell me that we want to be short. It says that we are seeing an uptick. When will the volume come in? I think not just today, but by tomorrow. If the market maintains structural strength, if there's more fundamental positive news, less negative news, more confidence that what's going on with maybe the US, China, global markets and things of that nature and their stability, baby, this thing's going to rock to new highs, and people doesn't see it coming, or they don't believe it, because remember, everyone's locked and loaded on the negative side of life right now because, President Trump, according to the media, was the Antichrist. He was going to put us in a depression, the abyss, and blah, 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 blah. If you listen to the media, it's unreal, right? But, I mean, if you look beyond that, and I don't care what your political affiliations are, look beyond that. These indicators don't lie, and it is showing something different. And what is different this time is that it's not just the normal FANG stocks leading the way, it's everything else is going up, like the Seagate, like Garmin, like you name it. Like, most importantly, let's take a look at one last sector, which I know I covered yesterday, housing. And if we take a look at maybe this page, and I turn over here and I go to housing and the home builders, and I'm not talking about the XHB, the stuff that goes into houses. That's nice. I'm talking about, look at Restoration Hardware up 3%. Look at Whirlpool. Now, that's the number, and I was talking about this yesterday, because what goes into a new home? So when you look at homes, when you look at Lennar and Pulte, and you look at D.H. Horton, when you look at those names, they're breaking out to new 52-week highs. That means they're building homes, they're selling homes, the stock's doing well. What goes into a home? Well, appliances. Nowadays, you just don't buy a crappy appliance. Everything's got a semiconductor attached to it and a computer chip. So, hey, Siri, wash my dishes. And Siri would say, hey, dummy, put the dishes in the dishwasher first, and I will. Or, hey, do I need milk? I don't know. The thing, I can't read it. But, I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's apps out there. Hey, turn on my stove. Everything's smart now, and smart requires what? computer technology and Bluetooth, and that's all requires semi. So with that said, you also have curtains. Your new home, listen, you buy a home and you buy a new home and you move into that new home, a lot of your stuff is going to Salvation Army, is going to somewhere, but it ain't coming into the new house. The new house is getting new stuff. And what comes with a new house? Well, curtains for the wife, things like that, little knickknacks and things like that. And maybe the guy gets a big screen TV in the room with a big surround sound system, and then possibly the garage, something goes into the new garage like a new car. So the ripple effect of building and the economy on new home construction is phenomenal. And that's what we have, which I'm not sure has been covered enough in the media. This downside in interest rates is extremely positive for the market, especially on what has been going on in the refi business right now. People are refinancing homes, and if you didn't, you better go run and do so. Today, we're getting a little profit taking in some of these home builders, but boy, they have broken out. Look at that. That's KB Homes. Let's take a look at Pulte. Let's look at DH Horton. Let's take a look at Lennar. They're all moving up, and the only one that's not really or has not done much, and it is, again, the weakest link in the whole hemisphere is Toll Brothers. It's the relative strength. That's the PMC indicator rating, negative. So today, we've got other stocks. We got the casinos because, hey, baby, we're back on to friendliness with China. But I think the better play is Red Rock Casino because Vegas, they're getting the Oakland Raiders. That's a local casino. Anyway, I can go on and on and on about really good trades, but we've actually talked about that in the live trading room. It was posted in our room for our members, and I think this one is another one that's got some exciting upside. And by the way, in the next 8 to 10 weeks, so that gets you into like November, we should see at the very least an upside momentum move to about, I'm going to guess, $25. So that's not a guess, that's a measured objective, by the way. Anyway, that's what we've got going on in our room. That's we list a lot of these names. Momentum. These are the things that we look at. Pot stocks. Some news happened out. Is it time to get back in on Tilray? We got a buy signal the other day. Today, Tilray's in the news. CB Canopy Growth in the news. Now we can kind of rest our heads on a low. Now, I'm not saying to chase it this very second, and I definitely got to tell you, I think the pot industry, if we get a daily close greater than that pivot, then I'm getting back in on jumping on the bandwagon. We had a position here. We used a tight stop. I got out, and I don't chase a market until I get a really good defined buy signal. What do I see right now? Do I have a defined buy signal? I'll tell you what I see on the indicators. Here's old pivot support it blew through, which is now new pivot point, which is 32.44. My momentum indicator is turned positive. We have a PPS buy signal. The volume structure is struggling. It's just perking its head up today. And the relative strength versus the overall market is still slightly negative. I want to see relative strength turn positive with good volume accumulation over a couple days, not one day. So if we can get a breakout, more volume, and better relative strength, that's the go. And I think you're going to get a Tilray trade that'll last into probably next year. Should get you minimum objective 55 to 60, and then maybe eventually back up to 80. That's my 2 cents. That's Tilray. I'll fill you in on that as we progress moving forward. Thanks for watching. Sorry to talk so long, but I think it's important to say, how is this stuff put together and how are you working it? And today, make no mistake, if we don't close below today's open print in the cash ETF markets, the Qs, the spiders, the diamonds, expressly bullish, especially if the advanced decline stays greater than neutral. Neutral in the S&P would be 250. So I want to see like a 320, a 310 print out of the breadth of the market today, and that would be dynamic. Thanks for watching, and then we'll see what happens over the weekend with the unemployment report and any new fresh news out of China. Thanks for watching.